Welcome everyone to another awesome video from Twisted Dice. Today we're going to talk competitive. We're going to talk everything Grey Knight. We're going to talk the cheesiest, best Grey Knight list that I think is possibly out there at the moment. And joining me today, cheesy. And joining me today, we have got Stefan. Stefan, we met up in Scotland in one of the Scottish Takeover tournaments. Met him a couple of times up there. He does really, really well in all the tournaments he plays. He comes across really well on the table. And you normally do pretty well, don't you, sir?
Yeah, not too bad anyway. Not too bad.
You're very modest. You're very, very modest. You do very, very well. Like the game that we played. So we'll start that off like the game that we played. It was a tough game, tough game. But like you knew your stuff. You knew how to play them. And like the army that you play, as we were talking, like that's the type of Grey Knight army that I would want to play, and that's the cool thing about it. So let's start off. Let's talk about what, like, first of all, what draws you to Grey Knights.
Oh,
please don't say it's because it's the top meta at the moment.
no. For anyone that doesn't know, I was playing Grey Knights pretty much right from the start of 8th when they were fucking garbage, absolute garbage. And I had to suit them up. Like I had a couple of custodes in there. I had a cheeky guard battalion, anything to get them more CP because it was so CP hungry. But what really drew me to them was it's like adding a whole new dynamic to the game in the psychic phase. Whereas some armies play and they move, sometimes they don't even move, they shoot, and then it's, yeah, your turn, mate. It wasn't exciting enough for me. I liked having that extra phase in there, you know.
And this is what the Grey Knights do well, because there is not a phase that they don't excel at.
Well, now they excel pretty well in the psychic phase, which they always should have.
Oh yeah, of course. I forget. Previously, it was like their smite was like wasn't D3, was it? It was just like, yeah, you're only gonna get one mortal wound. That's like what?
And then you did get the 3 when you played demons, which was quite cool. But if it was pure demons, you were screwed pretty much because they've got that 2-point stratagem to bring the whole unit back if it was killed by a Grey Knight. And I've fell asunder of that a couple of times.
It's kind of like, it's really, really cool. Guess what? I'm going to absolutely smash you in with these like 3 mortal wounds. And you're kind of like, yeah, well, that's cool. Guess what? I'm coming back.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's 2 CP. It's like, what's that? You just killed off how many Nurglings? Right, okay. I'm just going to spend these 2 CP and doesn't cost any reinforcement points. They're just coming back on the board.
Yeah, that was it. I did it once with a unit of 30 plague bearers. And I just get carried away. Like I had the smite there, but I also had the shooting phase after that. So at the start of the phase, I was like, right, I'll hammer them down with smite, and then I'll keep my remaining smite. Just won't cast the power. I won't kill them, and I'll make sure and finish them off with the guard in the shooting phase.
Yeah.
And I just get too carried away. Smite. Oh shit.
That's the thing. Like you can't. It's kind of like if you play a demon army, you kind of got to be smart on it. The fact that it's like you treat like the orc boys. You whack them down to next to nothing, but you leave one guy left. Then you do the next thing, like whack them down to nothing, and then kind of like, right, well, you're gonna make that choice now. Which one's coming back? Which one's staying there?
Yeah.
And it's difficult.
It is. It kind of forced. Previously, it kind of forced you into. I had to kill two units of kind of equal points levels, and even then, I knew they were coming back. And then anything else I touched, it was basically you had to bleed their CP away. Whenever you fought demons, you had to bleed their CP away. But see, when you come up against like 1,000 Suns, it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Like flat damage 3, you're not coming back, mate. See you later, Demon Prince.
That is the case. It's like, but the thing is, you don't really see many pure demon lists out there at the moment. That might change in a few months' time when they get their little book coming out, which is going to be absolutely friggin'. Do you know what? I can imagine actually being weak. I don't imagine it being good.
No.
No, because, and this is the reason why I say this for. If you look at like all the books that's come out so far, everything that's had the love, like like where Games Workshop like really like pampered it up and like, you're my baby. I'm gonna give you some cool shit. I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna give you like all this cool stuff. It's always been the Marines. Gene Stealer Cult comes along, like it's kind of like it's like that the baby you don't want. Like you adopted, mate. Go away. We're not interested. You don't fit the model at the moment. Please go away. Let's whack the points up and like go. And that's at the moment. It kind of feels like even Elder. God say even Elder have been kicked up the butt. Like, and you never see like the post like. It used to be for me. I suppose because I'm a Chaos player. I used to be a good Chaos player. It used to hurt me because like I'd always see like all the other armies get all the cool stuff, and then like Chaos would get their ass like, oh, that's gone up in points. Oh, that's gone up in points. And even in Elder used to be like their thing they always used to love. And they always used to give them some cool love, and even they've been having like dumbed down a little bit.
They were the first kind of psychic awakening, though, weren't they? So,
but even But like now, like with the Grey Knights, they've got some really, really cool stuff in it, and they've like really like pulled them out of the ground. It's kind of like there's the dustbin. Oh, they're back again. Give them a little brush down. There you go.
The dustbin. We're never in the dustbin. You just needed a wee bit of care, a wee bit of attention.
Well, this is what I'm saying. So like, it's kind of like for most players that kind of put them on the shelf and like, yeah, because it was like the 5th edition is like when Grey Knights used to be really strong, and that's when I used to play Grey Knights. I had Grey Knights before then, but it was like
I think that's when everyone used to play Grey Knights.
Well,
I think that's the last time anyone else ever played Grey Knights.
You know what? You're spot on there, because it used to be that horrible frigging Paladin bomb. Oh, well, look, guess what's back?
Yeah.
But the Paladin bomb used to be even stronger. But the Paladin bomb before used to be able to flick the wounds. You used to be like, right, okay, you're going to take this wound, you're going to take that wound, you're going to take that wound, you're going to take that wound. And and that used to be like the thing that dominated the battlefield, was like this horrible Paladin bomb. So my Grey Knights, I never had Terminators. I went the Strike Squads. I went the Storm Ravens for the storm with the Psych-Out missiles. I went with the Tech Marine. I went Cotiers. You know, I was playing around with different things, like things that people didn't expect. And like nothing worse than going to a Paladin, you know, the Paladin Death Star, and like, oh, we got this. Oh, guess what, mate? This shit is designed to take on yours. Oh, what's that? Your Psychers, right? Oh, okay. This Storm Raven, this missile is designed specially to make your day a living hell, just for you. And that list was just
I like that, man.
that list was designed just to take on that Paladin bomb, and like, and we just found that list was just so strong. It dominated a lot of other lists back in the days, and it was just like, that's my go-to army.
I did think about the Paladin bomb. Like,
that's boring, man.
I did think about it.
Yeah.
I looked at it and I was like, there is some nifty combos there. Like there's some really scary combos there. Like 10 pallies, 40 shots, strength 6, -2 or -1, 2 damage. It's not to be sniffed at, especially with like Astral and stuff like that as well.
You're right. They are really good, but I think really
I can do that with my Interceptors.
Yeah.
You know? I can do the same thing. What was the kind of deciding factor for me was the mortal wound output is what swung it for me, because I've went, as you know, I've went min-max on pretty much everything in my army, and I've tried to squeeze in as many psychic powers as I can. In fact, that many that I have to actually tag all of my models now with a little tag, so the power is there, because I've got no chance of remembering all of that. So
let's let me so for the audience at home that's sitting back watching this, I'm going to put some pictures up so you can see what we're talking about. So let's introduce you to Stefan's army. So as you can see, you know, all his models are beautifully painted. They come across really nicely on the table. So there you got your librarian, you've got your HQ. You can see the bad boys at the back. If we get to the next one, you can see his Nemesis Dreadknight. and you can see on his shoulder pads you've got gates, and then so his psychic powers are actually written on the actual knight itself, which is cool because you can then, like, for his opponent, he can't. It's not like he's trying to be sneaky and go, well, no, that one had the gate infinity.
Exactly.
No, that one had that. It's not. It's clearly written on the actual model itself, and I like that. That was a really cool little move for yourself, because like you kind of then knew, like, right, okay, this is kind of what I'm going to expect. And then like
it's a bit of a disadvantage for me because it makes it easier for my opponent to remember where my key pillars are, and he can try and target them as much as he can, like warp shaping or gate or vortex are kind of the main ones that people try and focus. But I'm rocking in with 29 psychic pillars, so I'm like, do your worst, mate.
Listen, I know how that ends up. I know. I know exactly how that ends up. It doesn't end up pretty. Let's put it that way.
I mean, that was actually little cheeky one where I got in within 3 inches and put off the vortex and then smited. How many 6s did I roll?
We can go off someone quite quickly, Stefan.
I think it was from the one pillar we did 32 mortal wounds or something like that.
The whole weekend. So we're referring to a tournament, the last tournament at the Scottish Takeover. But I used Will's towel. I wanted to play the enemy. I wanted to find out what the enemy's weaknesses were, their weak spots. And
it was the 9 broadside list, wasn't it?
Oh, mate, it was all the missiles.
Yeah.
It was like one army that you really didn't need to think. You could get absolutely hammered and you didn't need to think about that army until you play you, and then you're like, okay.
Right. Because you smashed everyone, didn't you? You smashed everyone bar me, I think. Like you won really big on all of your games.
It was points. It was more like I was aiming for. See, for myself on that, it was like a lot of the games were going to like turn 5, turn 6. Mm-hmm. So it was going right to the end of the thing. But what I was aiming for is, because with his tournament, it's all about points. It's not you can win every one of those games, but if you score low, you're not going to get. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. So, no. And like my mindset behind it was like, okay, that's cool. I could do the whole thing as like submarine, like go low, 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 then go high. Yeah, and it happens. But then how I see it is like, yeah, you could do that, and then I could hit that rock and then go down like that. Or I could go high, 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 hit the rock, next game, come back up, and then still try aim for some point on podium. And like, I know I'm going to face a hard army at some point, and it's just the nature of the beast, and it's nothing you can do about it. It's just one of those things. Like every army has a weakness. Like if I didn't face you, I was facing Ace. Yeah. And I was kind of like thinking, like, how do I deal with that? But
I reckon you would have had that. I reckon you would have had that.
I don't know. Like Ace is a Tau player. He knows what he's doing. As I'm kind of like, yeah, I know enough to get the army through where it is, but I didn't know what hit all his units, what they exactly did. So that kind of then puts me at a disadvantage of like, mate, it is what it is. It kind of, it worked up until I faced you, and then that was it. So, but look, let's talk about what you had in that list, because because when we was talking about this on the live stream, we would, I know you didn't get to see the live stream, but John asked me which army that I thought was going to win it, which army was the best on there. And I clearly said yours. So if you don't believe me on this, go check it out on Twitch. It's still up on the Twisted Dice TV Twitch page. It's on there, and we talk about the lists, the armies. And I blatantly said, yeah, I reckon Stefan's list is going to be the one that wins it. And as we was talking through it, it's like, look, you've got all the units in there that I love. Like, I love the intercessors. I love the interceptors. I love the whole shenanigans. the Nemesis Dreadknight started bringing back some old cool memories, and it was kind of like, yeah, I can remember when I had one of those bad boys, and I can remember when I had to take on a Swarm Lord and I cut it in half, and I can remember when like my one come up behind that Land Raider and just took it in the back armor and just like smashed it down.
That is what they do. They're big smash bots.
But like back in my days, mine used to have shunt.
That's been so good.
Back in the days, it was so friggin' awesome because what you used to do, you had 3 of them with the flamer. You shunted them across the room, across the table. Turn 1, you just shunted all 3 across, and then because the flamer had like a 12-inch, then you done the flame template. It was like, oh, what's that you got hiding behind the back of there? Yeah, not anymore. And it ignores cover. Bye bye. Get it off. Come on, take it away. Oh, what's that? Your librarian and all the other stuff. Giving all the other stuff. Yeah, it's not there anymore.
So good.
It's gone. And
see, that's the stuff. That's the stuff I love about Grey Knights. It's like no one. You can't strategically really play against them because you've no idea what they're going to do. You have no idea what they're going to do. You can't screen for 4 turns. I'm sorry, but you can't.
And that's the beautiful thing about this, right?
And
this is the beautiful thing about it. It's like you can't screen the Grey Knights. Like you can to a way. You to agree. You kind of can.
Kill them all. Like you can kill them all. That's the only way you're doing it.
Yeah, or if you've got like if you like for instance, if you was going up against the Paladin bomb, if you had like orcs, there is ways you could strategically position yourself to make sure that those Grey Knight troops are at the back. Okay, they're going to kill whatever they do get into, but you could kind of then stop them from, scoring points, or once they're dead, once they've killed that unit.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's where the Paladin bomb kind of falls down, I think, anyway.
Yeah. So and
I've seen a couple. Sorry, mate.
But that's the weakness of that army build, I suppose. It's like, yeah, it's very, very strong. It's very, very powerful. If you get it to where it needs to be on the board, you're going to do a lot of damage with it. But the problem is you're coming in turn 2, turn 1. If you're playing a player that is smart and knows how to play their army, they're going to screen you out, and you're not going to get anywhere near that. You need to get those juicy units in, and you're going to spend the rest of your game scoring nothing on points or hardly anything on points, and that's not where you want to be on the game.
Yeah, I played it. I played Scottish Takeover. I played Gav with the Paladin bomb. And that was I was actually quite scared about that game because I'm like, this is pretty much everything that I'm riding on to say that this Grey Knights list is better than that one. And I was like, you know what? I'll grudge Gav. I'll play him in turn 1. Gav's a good player.
Gav's a really good player. Like, because I played. He's not, and like Gav runs the meta, doesn't he? He's a meta chaser. Like, there's no shadow of doubt. He chased the meta, but he's a meta chaser. But he's also a really, really good player. So you can't knock the guy in the slightest on.
No, not at all.
Everything that he does, like, because I played in the previous Scotch Takeover, and he did beat me with the with his iron hands. Like,
yes, 6 flyers.
The 6 flyers. I had, like, because the night before I was thinking through the head, like, yeah, I can do this. If I do this, I can do that. I can kind of counter him like that. It's like, yeah, okay. It comes down to turn 1. I got the roll off where I was going first. It's like, fuck. Yeah, I can't seize. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Friggin' awesome.
Not kill enough flyers, turn 1.
Did I kill enough flyers? None of my guns wanted to fire. It was just like it's the thing with orcs. It's kind of like they're really, really good, or they're really, really terrible. And like all my grots were like, yeah, we're on strike. You're not meant to face this guy. We're on strike.
Was this game 4 after a Saturday night out, by any chance?
Mate, they because I went to bed, like, tried to get to bed early on the Saturday night to make sure Sunday morning when I faced him I was ready for it. And of course my grots and the war boss, they were out like, come on you kids, let's go out of the piss, innit? We're gonna be smashing this up. Those boys were not on form, and they were just proper hanging out their backsides, and it was kind of like, okay. Right, you'll go. Oh, right. You're deleting how many units? Right, okay. But we had a good. This is the killer about it. He had the Gene Stealer Cult dice, and then these Gene Stealer Cult dice are renowned for being like terrible rolling. They always roll the Gene Stealer Cult symbol more than anything, but they're 1s on those dice.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, can I use your dice?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no worries, no worries." Of course, when he was rolling them, the sixes were coming up. When I was rolling them, the bloody ones and twos were coming. Like, come on, you're tainting my dice, man. This sucks. But like, just in general, though, it was a super cool game. We had fun, we had laughs, and it was interesting to see. Like, obviously, game one, you've called them out on the next one. So you two were going up head to head, and it was kind of like, because me and John were talking about it on the way up, it was like, yeah, well, that's interesting that they called each other out. And he goes, do you think he's kind of bit off too more than he chewed? I was like, oh, I don't know. He's not a silly player. I think he's got a little plan up his sleeve.
Yeah.
And then, lo and behold, game one, you've just like pulled out of the bag, like, yeah. And that was
That's the thing. The Grey Knights, if you can actually deny them board control, they become actually quite weak, because their great strength is their mobility.
yes.
When I rocked up against Gav was running the stereotypical 2 pally bombs, characters, and enough strikes to get your twin battalion in there, which is kind of the meta list for everybody else at the moment. I've had a look at that. I've thought about it. No, I'm running 3 squads of interceptors just for that really quick turn 1. I'm straight up there. I'm straight in your face, because you know you're getting turn 1 now, or you know you're going second. So you can hide them off the board, or you can put them right in the front line, and then that's more than half the board that you own now. And if you're on the right side, they ain't getting you. You just hide in a building, hide out the way. It's like, what you got to do? Nothing.
And that's the thing. There is nothing no one can do about it.
No, so. It's like taking everything away. It's like, nah, there's literally nothing you can do now, mate. It's just like.
So let's talk exactly what you got in your list then. So first of all, how many detachments do you take in your list?
I run 3 detachments. I've got 2 battalions and an outrider detachment. The outrider is headed up by a librarian, and then 3 interceptor squads, because the interceptors is fantastic, especially that shunt as well. It's brilliant.
It's strong.
It's really good, especially in turn 1, where you can just fling 4 units up the board and go, the table is mine, which is exactly what I did to Gav. But we'll get to that. I've then got 6 strike squads, just to fill out the battalion. I was rocking Voldus at the time. However, Voldus, everybody thinks Voldus is a really, really strong choice for Grey Knights. Like, I know when I played you, you went for him when I gave you him. I know when I played Gav, he went for him when I offered him, and Ace went for him as well. So everybody seems to think he's a really key player, but in the list of mines, it's like, I don't really care. I'll actually use him as bait. I'll literally put him out somewhere that somebody can get a 9-inch bubble to him and come down and deep strike next to him.
That's all I had to shoot at. What are you on about?
Right, okay. Fine. That's a different case. And Ace went for him as well. So I'll literally just use him as, look, he's quite hardy. He's got 4 up invul. He's got like 5 wounds or something, maybe 6. He doesn't terminate. I don't know. And he's a bit of a psychic beat stick. I've then got Brother Captain, which is purely there for 24-inch smite, which is incredible. Like, it's ridiculously good.
Having the extra range on it is powerful. Very powerful.
The smite train in this army is phenomenal. I think I was also running a banner then as well. I'm still sticking with the wee banner. I think he's pretty good.
Yeah.
He had the relic banner on for D6 smite, and what you do with him is you bring him down within 3 inches. You then 1 CP for dynamic insertion, and that allows you to deep strike on turn 2 within 3 or out with 3 inches. So it's really quite clinical at that point, where you can come in. Someone thinks they've screened really, really well, and just this one guy in a 40mm base can come down and be like, oh, like he did to you. Like, this one guy came down and did.
Okay, Robin salting wounds there, right? Yeah.
It's a good example.
But the thing is, I knew about that frigging thing and I forgot all about it. And it's like
everybody forgets about it. And again, there's not much you can do about it unless you're running a big horde army. There's not much you can do about it. He's going to come down and he's going to fuck up some characters at one point. So you bring them down. What you do is you cast Smite first, or it's like Purifying Flame, or whatever it is he knows because he's banner. And you get a D6 Smite off. It goes off in a 4. Once you've done that, you pay a CP and you get him to cast another power.
Yeah.
But you also pay a CP and you give him +1 to that as well. So he's now got +2. So he's getting your Super Vortex on a 10. You then spend another CP.
For the audience at home, what does that Vortex do? I know what it does.
Yeah, Vortex is a warp charge value of 8, which for Grey Knights is 7, and that does D3 mortal wounds to the target unit. It's got a 12-inch range on it, and it picks the closest visible, so you can target it. You just need to be, you need to use line of sight and stuff like that, and you can aim it through stuff. It's really quite powerful. Once it hits a target model, not a unit. So from that model, everyone within 3 inches of that, it then jumps onto. So if I cast it in an 8, which I don't normally do, to be honest, I'll go boys to the wall to get casting a 12. It does D3 to the target model's unit, and then it does D3 to every unit within 3 inches of that. So if you can start the phase looking exactly what your opponent's done, like a lot of people when they play me, they deliberately space everything out now because they know it's coming. It's the problem with playing the same army for so long. But you'll get a wee look at the start of the phase and you'll be like, right, okay, if I can get somebody in here and get somebody in there, and there's multiple ways you can actually go about getting them in there. Like the interceptors have now got a psychic power that allows them effectively to move 24 inches. So you don't always need to be 9 inches away. So the interceptors can run right into their lines now. And the good thing about them is you pick the model at which you cast from. So it's just another way of aiming your smite or aiming your psychic power.
Which is pretty cool.
So what you do with this banner is you do D6 mortal wounds first off. Hope you don't kill the model that you want to target with the Vortex. You need to think about that as well. You then pay a CP to get him to cast another power. You pay another CP to get him +1 because he's already cast power. The +1 is actually for everyone within 6 inches of him as well. So that comes into turn 2 or turn 3. And you then cast Vortex. And you cast Vortex, you pay another CP. So it's 3 CP to do this. But you cast Vortex with 3d6 with a +2. And what you're really looking for is a 12+. So, you roll 2 5s on 3 dice. You're like, right, that's D6 mortal wounds now. So it's D6 to the target unit, and then D6 to every other unit within 3 inches of it. And I've literally won and lost games off of the back of that. It's so swingy, but if you're doing
it's very, very swingy, but it's such a cool little spell. Like,
boys to the wall stuff. So it's...
Oh, definitely, man. But like back in the days, that Vortex thing used to be a template.
That's right.
And it never disappeared. It just kept on bouncing around until it like phased out. And I used to love that. It like I'm gonna chuck one of these in your background and I'm gonna disappear and go, ha ha, play with that, Tau. And there'd be nothing more fun with that. Just chucking it down there, and just watching it bounce around, and then just like just disappear because if it comes back, it's gonna hurt.
It did just flat up kill anything it touched, didn't it? Yeah,
you see all those castle armies then all of a sudden you start panicking like, oh, heretics, run! And you see them like scurrying in all different directions like, quick, get out of it. It's terrible.
So, yeah, that's what the Ancient's there for. And then on top of that, I'm trying to actually think back to what I had at that tournament.
I think you had Drago.
Drago.
Did you have Drago?
I did have Drago.
You had the three dudes. You had the three.
Course, yeah, that's what finished it off. I'm pretty sure there's some other HQs in there that I forgot about. Maybe 2 librarians. I can't remember. But it was 3 Grandmasters and Nemesis Dreadknights, which, because I'm not running pallies, nothing in my army is actually that survivable. So having something that's actually higher than toughness 4 12 wounds and a 2-up save.
Yes.
And then you can make them -1 to hit as well, which is just fucking ridiculous.
I suppose
It's actually pretty good.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's like because like all your stuff is like 1 wound. Most of it's like 1 wound.
Yeah, it dies so easily.
They're just normal Marines. So like if you fail a save, it's not like, oh, it's cool, I got another one in the bag. Nah.
No.
Is if you fail the save, it's kind of like, yeah, you're kind of, that's
Screwed.
it. You're gone. It's like there's no second chances. It's you're gone.
It's very, very unforgiving.
Yeah,
So
very, very
the army's
unforgiving.
extremely unforgiving. If you make a mistake and you leave someone exposed, or if you leave someone in line of sight that you didn't think was going to have line of sight, you're in trouble.
Yeah, you can't. You've got to be very, very thing. So let me see. I've got the list from the Scottish Takeover. It's still up on the internet.
Well done.
Let's see if I can find you on there.
I think I was last on that. Last person in that last talk, I think.
40 pages worth. What's that? Yes. Good memory, sir. It was just 1 page worth, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah. No, was it? My memory's not that good.
Yeah, so you got three Grandmaster Nemesis Dreadknights, so they're your 3 HQ. And they were armed with
Gatling silencers and heavy Psycannons.
That's it. And then you've got 3 strike squads.
Yep.
And they're just with the falchion blades and bolters. And then another strike squad, 3 strike squads. And then you've got some elites. You've got the Brotherhood as Ancient. And then you've got the Captain, Grandmaster Voldus. And then you've got another 3 squads of strike squads, Outrider Detachment, and then that's the Librarian, and then that's your 3 squads of Interceptors.
Yep.
And they're like, so like, doesn't sound a lot. Really doesn't sound a lot at all, but then as soon as you start actually seeing them on the table, there is actually quite a lot of, there isn't like, Grey Knights have never been known to having like hordes and hordes of models. But like as the current meta goes, like point wise, there is a lot more than you expect to be on the table, which is kind of cool. You got some, like, I just remember looking at thinking, remember looking at your list and with Ace, say, it's got some really stuff in it. It's going to absolutely kick ass. So that's the list that you took for the Scottish Takeover, and you done pretty damn well with it. Like you say, like, I know obviously you didn't come in the top 4.
No.
But let's put that to a side, right? Because like you had a game with your brother, was it? And like you didn't score a lot of points on that one because it was quite a, you was going up against the
Blood Angels.
Yes, so that was
a point.
So, but apart from that, you won 4 games. Won 4 games, and then you lost a game.
Yeah.
Like, so in the grand scheme of things, so like for myself, I don't care whether your top tables, like in the grand scheme of things, you still won 4 games.
I did okay. I went. What bugged me about that one was and it didn't really bug me because he showed up and he absolutely smashed 4 out of 5 guys. I showed up and I bet almost everyone I played. The guy was. Were you second? I think you second.
Yeah, I was second.
I think you second. Yeah. So I played the guy in second. I bet him. I played the guy in third. I bet him. I played the guy in fourth. I bet him. I played ace, and I think I left him with 1 or 2 models on the table.
But that was the thing, because like you and Ace's game was down to like the bare minimum. So like, and let's not muck around. Like Ace's list was just like pure cheese. It was like the pure Stilton.
I liked that.
It was good. It was good, and I can see his smarmy little face, like smiling in the background, like, I know I've got a really good list, I've got a strong list. I was like, yeah, I know, I wanted to borrow that list, I wanted to take it out, and you kind of like taking that away from me. But it's fine. But to be fair, he done better justice of it, because I don't know Tao. I would have been down the bottom of this really good list, because there's a lot of...
It was a hard game. Played it well.
it's
Played it really well,
there's a lot of he's got a lot of mechanics in that list. So
yes.
So forget about that game of that game of Ace, because like that was a very 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 close game, and was it like 1 point in between in the actual game itself?
I think it was maybe it was either 1 or 2 points. I think Ace beat me, but it was a couple of points. I think I can't really remember, but I think it was close anyway.
So
it was like,
bearing that in mind, that's still pretty damn good going with the list you had. It kind of like it was still super strong. So like hats off to you. So like you done really bloody well on there, and like yeah, it was a good game. It was a good game. Like you boys were going right to the end. And I remember like Will saying like, well, remember the rules, if any dice get thrown after a certain time, it's like you don't score no points. And it was just like as soon as the time ran out, it goes, Ace, catch this for me, mate. He rolled a dice. I said no points, no points. I was working it. I was like, right, if he fails this, or if you two score low, I could probably or if you two draw it, I've got a chance to just slightly, slightly getting in there. Going,
I was 1 point away from letting you get a first place there. Yeah, I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry. I tried.
That was my only opportunity I was ever going to see a first place, and you kind of took it away from me. But look, shit happens, right? Like I still enjoyed the weekend. The weekend was cool. Got to meet some awesome people.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
We had a laugh, had a joke. At some point, I don't think you knew how to take me. At some point, so I was trying to make you laugh, and you was like, "What are you saying?" Like, okay, my humour's not working here.
Did you say?
Yeah, he was done. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be good now. I'm not gonna muck around. I'm not gonna be good. And look, it's just one of those things. That's what I love about 40k. It's just like I've had lists in the past where I think I'm so convinced these lists are going to do really really well, and like paper they're really good, and like when it happens it just doesn't. But as yourself, like you've got really really good lists, and I honestly thought that your list was going to be the one that was going to win that event. And I know you did. I know, and you were so close, and that's the thing. So regardless of where you come on that thing, with the list that you've done very, very bloody well. And if that game went on a little bit longer, like if you had another turn in there, I think your and Ace's turn, that game would have been totally different.
We're going into coulda, woulda, shoulda now. So.
Of course, and there's and like that means nothing really in the way of things. But what I'm trying to say to you is like, regardless of what happened at the end of that, you still had a really good list, and the outcome for yourself was really, really strong with the list that you had. Your army.
I'm looking forward to getting it back out. I don't normally make many changes, but since it was the first time out with pure Grey Knights, I have made some slight changes.
That's brilliant, because that was going to be my next question to yourself. So now, obviously, you've had some time to ponder and have a little think. Well, look, to be fair, you haven't, because even though like the rest of the world has gone on lockdown and sticking in and doing absolutely nothing, you, sir, have actually been an absolute gentleman and actually gone out and done a lot of volunteering work for the community. So, like, I think that deserves like a real proper round of applause there. That's absolutely freaking, mate. That's really good going, because like I've got you on friends on Facebook, and I've seen some of the cool stuff you've been doing. So that's friggin' awesome of yourself, sir. So that's really good, Stefan. So as with the rest of the world, has had the time to sit and ponder and worry about what's going on in the outside world. You haven't, but hopefully you've had the opportunity just to reflect upon the last tournament and think, okay, that's cool. Because I can imagine your little mind in the head like, well, okay, that didn't work, but that was weak, but I can put this in, I'm going to make it super strong by doing this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. So talk to us what Lord Malcador has been talking to you. Is Malcador still alive, or is he dead?
Malcador died.
How did he die?
He sat on the throne.
He sat on the throne. Well, that was stupid.
Sat on the throne while the Emperor was getting his ass kicked off Horus.
Oh, you ruined it for me now. That's like that. Now I don't need to see the ending. I didn't know that.
Everybody should do that.
Do you know what? I didn't know. But this is the thing. This is what I love about Fluff. Like having conversations with people like yourself and that, and like I find that little information. But now I just want to go find the book, because I don't do any of the. I don't get a chance to read a lot of the books. So when I do read a book, it's got to be an army that's I'm really passionate about. Yeah. But what I do a lot of in the job that I do on the day-to-day is I do travel between a lot of jobs where I might be travelling for an hour.
Audio books, man.
Audiobooks for the win every single day, and
Oh yeah.
and that's where I get a lot of my information. Like a lot of my knowledge comes from those cool audiobooks, and like there's so much cool stuff out there. But yeah, that side I haven't had a chance of getting to yet because Games Workshop haven't. The Black Library are building us up to that pinnacle moment. But I know what's going to happen. I'm going to have to be sitting in the van like, don't do it, just don't do it. But look, I know his fate. Anyway, so from the other side, Malcador's been talking to you like from the grave.
Yeah. From the grave now.
That's it. He's a warp entity, and he's reaching out to you saying, Stefan, my Grey Knights.
Yeah.
In Titan. I need you to rethink about your strategy, sir, and I need you to come up with some other cheese.
Stop cheese, man!
Oh, we got a nice little hook with a hit. Whoa!
Proper triggers. Right, so I've kept my 6 strike squads. I've kept my Nemesis Dreadknights for the moment, because I'm thinking about... No, I'm not going to do the Palace.
Good lad, good lad.
It's too expensive, and I'd rather have 3 Dreadknights. That's just my preference.
I think that the Dreadknights are probably going to do more for you than what that Paladin squad's going to do for you.
Yeah, I think so. Especially with the way I play. Like, I've seen a lot of these Paladin bombs, and they're like, right, you really need to play them aggressively. But I've seen people being dead cagey with them in their back, and they're trying to shoot from behind cover and stuff like that. You need to get right up, you need to get right into it, and you need to hit hard with Grey Knights, because if you don't do that...
That's the thing, you play up a flyer list or a fast moving list.
Yeah, you go into a warrior attrition.
Oh, what's it? You got 24 inches, maybe 30, or was it like a 28 inch, because they've only got a 4-inch move. And you're like, well, that's cool. I'm going to sit at 30 inches because like most of my stuff can still shoot you, and like you can advance if you want to, and you can hit me on 4s or 5s because I'm a flyer. That's fine. I don't mind that. But yeah, Paladins for me is like that's not me. It doesn't excite me. We're gonna do a battle report with them at some point once this lockdown's happened. We're not going to go down to the whole extent of doing like double Paladins bomb, because that's going to be boring. Like, I'll be bored to play that. Whoever I play is going to be bored of playing that, and it's not. But I've got more Grey Knights. We've brought a commissioned Grey Knight army. Because all mine hadn't been built, and because everything going on at the time, and we had the Scottish takeover, I didn't have a chance to build them up. But we brought this really sweet looking army from a guy called Steve. We've met him a couple of times at the Cult of Paint, and he's got this beautiful Blood Angels army, and John pinged this pestures up because look, we got some cool Grey Knights on sale on Facebook. Saw the army, had a quick glance at the army, saw the name, just the guy's name, was like, yeah, buy him. don't even need to look at him, just buy him. Yeah, I don't need to look at anything else. I just saw the guy's name. I was like, yeah, just buy him. Just quickly, just buy him.
Imagine you bet me to that then.
Yeah, they're beautiful, but they're not silver. They're black. So he's gone for like the more. Yeah, so he's got like the black and then the white helms. I don't even have anything floating around, but it's just a nice colour scheme. So
you get a picture of them up in the final.
Yeah, I'll try to get our ones up there, but he's just done a beautiful job. So that gave me then. I got them back. I then got all my Grey Knights out, and like I shouldn't really say this too loud because I don't want the missus to hear. My little pot of shame is like a good couple of 6 litres of bloody or 60 litres of the really useful boxes full of the stuff. So it's like digging through, it's like, oh god, I've got a Nemesis Dreadknight here not built. Oh, I've got another one here. I've got a Land Raider here. How many intercessors have I got? Oh yeah. I've got like 70 bloody intercessors. I've got 30 paladins. Like, cool, right. Let's not muck around. Let's build them up. Let's paint them up and let's get them to the same standard as what he's got his. And then I'm just going to have one super hell of a... My Grey Knight force is going to be back to where it used to be before I had the plastic glue death. I don't know if you ever come across that at all.
No, I mind you saying. Well, I like that. Anybody that's taking out a Grey Knights is good in my books anyway.
Once that army's built, even when we go into 9th and the army comes pants, because I'd have it built and it's I love Grey Knights, I'll still play them. And if my Grey Knights would have been built and painted at the beginning of 8th, I would have played them just for the fact that I just used to love Paladins. I used to love Grey Knights. The Tech Marine's not as good as it used to be.
I don't remember him ever being good.
Oh mate, the singing and dancing thing. You give him
Was
the
it?
ward. Yeah, man, you give him the warden stave. Was it the warden stave? I can't remember
Plus
now what
one
he's
involved
given.
in combat.
Well, what you done? You put him in a squad, and he used to buff up some stuff, and he used to have the psych out grenade. So his idea was used to chuck him out. He chucked the psych out grenade into the squad, and it used to you roll a 6, and depending on what happens, certain stuff happens to that squad. Like on a 6, it was like bugs, we hate bugs, and they used to like attack each other and like yeah, this is the way I like playing. And you had the Death Cult assassins, and yeah, there was so much cool toys I used to play with. I used to love it, and as you can tell, I'm missing it.
Yeah, yeah.
getting really excited over some Grey Knights, and yeah, one day I'll have my force back. But I used to have like a real bright green Grey Knight army.
That'd have been cool, man. That'd have been cool.
I think it hurt your eyes a little bit when you looked at it.
Still, it'd have been cool. I think it'd have been cool. Right, I'll try and get back to this, because basically what I've done is I've kept the 3 Grandmasters, I've kept the 6 Strike Squads,
Yeah.
I've kept the Brotherhood fucking Ancient, which is total sniper. 1 Brother Captain.
Okay.
Which is a bit of a controversial choice there, but I've taken him to 2 tournaments, he's not died once. So
is that because they're attacking everything else and not that?
Oh, you play him in such a way that you make it impossible for your opponent to get to him. That's
Right.
it. If your opponent's getting to him, you've already lost the game. 2 Librarians. So this is, I've dropped Voldus now.
Yep, sure.
2 Librarians there. And then a 3rd Librarian and the Outrider detachment. So I've got three Librarians and 3 Interceptor squads. So I've maxed out quite a few things there, actually. I guess it is actually quite cheesy now. Like,
I think
yeah,
I like that better.
I'll give you that. But we're dropping Voldus, although he's quite sturdy. He's got a 4-up invul. He's got a Thunderhammer there. He can be a bit of a beat stick.
He can be a bit of a beat stick, but you've got to get him into combat
Exactly.
for him to become a beat stick.
He's getting there.
So
I only ever used him as bait. So
really, he's like, it's not
cheaper
really.
bait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could chuck a Librarian in its place instead.
And that's exactly it. So I've now
Maybe
got
give
2
him a
Librarians.
Give a Librarian. Give him a Librarian for Warden Stave.
How much?
Give a Warden Stave to a Librarian.
Oh yeah, definitely. It needs to be. Yeah, it needs to be.
There you go. Then there's a cheaper bit of bait for you for him.
Aye, exactly. But it's only 4-up in combat. With 4-up involved for the Warden Stave. Rest of the time you still get a 5-up. But whatever. Still get 2-up armour, and the fact of the matter is he's there to lure something out so I can smite the hell of it. So, but what that gives me is, I'm just going to count these up because it's kind of changed. I've not really been very well versed in it. I was out, like, you know yourself, I literally just got Skype in the last half an hour and sorted this out with you. I've literally been run off my feet. The stuff that we've been doing right now is really quite impressive. It's actually really quite surprising how many people out there are in need of help. So my original plan was I was going to come home and I was going to sit down and I was going to go over this and actually get pretty well versed in it, so I didn't sound like an idiot.
Yeah.
But I didn't have the time, so you're just going to bear with me. So the new list is rocking out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 25 psychic pills in a turn.
So that's still pretty good going, right?
Well, considering that you can fling 4 units up in turn 1 if you want to, and depending on where you put them, you can get them into range and you can hide them pretty well.
Yes.
So that's you're now setting up your threat range for the smite train coming in turn 2. Turn 2 happens, you've then got, I think the way Deep Strike works with this, I've got 996 points in reserve normally.
Yeah.
Unless I'm playing something that's like not shooty and I'm just everything boys to the wall, everything on the table. But you get near enough 1,000 points of Grey Knights, and then about 400 points of Grey Knights appearing in your front line on turn 2 all together.
That's
And
quite scary.
it's ridiculously scary. It's great. And you start your psychic phase, you go into the tide of smite, as I call it, a tide of escalation,
Yep.
and you start smiting away. Your first smite unit is usually a strike squad that's standing next to the brother captain, and you string them out. And I've actually worked out the bubble you can get is about 28 inches of a bubble. Like, it's huge, absolutely huge. So basically, you can get your whole army in that, and everybody's at +2. Then you get relics in there that get you up to +3. That's the shard thing, and then you can reroll as well.
Yep.
So the guy that's in +3 is normally casting Vortex, and you're getting about 12 mortal wounds for that if you do it right, minimum.
That's
And then you've also got the librarian there as well. And if you take the right relic on him, you can manipulate one of the dice, so you can actually get it up to a +4. So you're getting D6 smite on an 8 with 3 dice. It's pretty tasty. You've usually got at least 14 smites, so it's that 28 mortal wounds casting on a 3.
Oh wow!
And not many armies can deal with that. Like,
no,
it just chews away. And if you get them into the right position, see if you set up, normally turn 1 I'll go 3 squads of interceptors straight up.
Yeah.
And I'll get something up, whether it's a Dreadknight if I need it, or another strike squad. Something's getting gated up. And basically all they're there for, I mean, that's 80 Stormbolter shots. 20 of them are probably going to be at strength 5 -1. And it just clears the screen. So the screen's gone. So your chaff's gone by this point, and then you're taking between 25 and 50 mortal wounds in turn 2. And it's just like...
See, that's absolutely scary, because
it's like, that's 2 nights gone. Bye.
What's the thing? The amount of smite that you've got coming out, there's not, like... I don't think there's anything there that can negate that.
No.
That smite. Like, anything you go up against, you're going up against... not that you really see Nurgle demons anymore, like the...
just the 5-up, feel no pain.
You don't really see that anymore. But like, even if you did, like, because they used to be like a real pain to get through anyway. But like, even you're gonna go up to like, yeah, okay, let's go on.
Well, that's the thing. See, once you've done your 50 mortal wounds in your psychic phase, you then go, right, I'm going to start my shooting phase now.
Aye, and that's...
You know what I mean? And everything opens up, and it just blasts everything off the fucking table.
I think in the days that people used to get upset when the Thousand Suns used to be able to do that shenanigans, like the smite bombs coming off and things like that. And I think now, like the list that with the amount of smite you've got coming out, would actually be stronger than what that list used to be back in the day.
It can take more powers. It's the same range, mind you, but it can take more powers. It's a little more finesse, I think.
I think
whereas the Thousand Suns one, they were all kind of independent and they can just do what they want. Yeah. The Grey Knights one, you need to kind of coordinate them with each other.
Like if you took the old, let's say like we took the old list of the Thousand Suns, where they used to be really good with the smite, and you take the new Grey Knights with the smite. I think if you put them together, I think the smite on the Grey Knights would outpower the old Thousand Suns one.
Yeah, I would agree. It's always a good matchup though. Soon you come up against, like, you don't see them very often after the big points increases, but my little brother used to be quite a big fan of Aramin and his 2 Demon Princes. It's always a fun game. See when you turn that psychic phase into like the primary phase. I love that.
And that's the sad thing now, that obviously with with a lot of armies, with the way the points are gone, it's kind of killed them a little bit. But I think once we start seeing the restructure, because like they've always rejigged the points, and that's the one thing that you can take your hats off to Games Workshop for is, if there's a big event happening and a army is done very, very well, where they might have exploited some of the rules, or something's happened where they haven't foreseen a certain army being able to do certain things by comparing it, combining it with certain things, they kind of get on board with that quite quickly and they alter the points, and I like that. So
it's good and it's bad. It depends on how they do it. Like the whole thing that with the You remember a while back now, it was the Smash Captains. Everybody was running Blood Angel Smash Captains. And
Yeah.
they nerfed combat into the ground because of it. It wasn't just Smash Captains that suffered. Like, I was raging. I was like,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't play shooty armies. I like to play aggressive armies that get right up there and in your face as quickly as possible.
and that's where I like to be. But you can understand why they used to do it because like you had the Smash Captains would sit on top of the buildings,
Yeah.
and then it would like it'd go from like a 9 inch
0 inch
charge
charge.
to a 1 inch charge, and like, well, that's not fair.
It was actually interceptors. I think wraiths were another one, and
Yeah,
harlequins with flip belts. They all got away with it for about 2 months after that, and it tamed them. Um, I think it was actually Lawrence that put it in a chat, and then as soon as pretty much that was seen, obviously someone had been watching, and I get FAQ'd like a week later, and again I was raging. I was raging. I was like, why did you tell anyone?
why did you open your mouth? Why? Um, to be fair, like, I think like if that was me and I'd come up against that, I'd be like, oh come on, man, what the? But then I don't really have any armies that neutralised on that ability.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mine was always the let's
if
do
you're
the jump.
running orcs, you'll know exactly running about with Storm Boys, are you?
No, what the Storm Boys are really good. I don't have enough. I need a squad of 30 of them, and they're not that bad.
That would be interesting to see.
They have a use. They do have a use, and their use is I want to bug the hell out of you.
Yeah.
I'm just going to slam these guys out there. Yeah, okay, they can't green tide and they can't do various other bits. That's fine.
So would you use them as basically a Storm Boy bomb?
No, I just do them to just to bug you. They're well, they're good in so many ways, but they're not as good as like Orc Boys. I think if I remember right, they get. It's been a while since I used them, but I think they get as many attacks as like a squad of 30 Orc Boys. So they're not as
same though, innit? 6 up.
Yeah, no, they don't get an invan.
November.
No, they don't get invan. The only time they get invan is if you're using them on the Death Skulls. Death Skulls gives the whole army, apart from Grotz, the 6-up invan, which is handy. But competitively, you wouldn't do that. You'd go for the Evil Suns to get that +1 charge.
Yeah.
You'd go for that day in day out all the time. And it's just a shame that with everything that's happened at the moment, of course, Orcs have had some coolness kicked in there. We've got Gazgul. Gazgul is not great. He's good, but points, he's too expensive. Too many wounds, so he's over that threshold. So
I was going to say, how much are you wishing you had 9 wounds right now?
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like I wish they'd made him a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
Well, not even the size is cool. Yeah, I'd rather they just stuck him at the 9 wounds or 8 wounds, and then just kept him like that, and then at least that way he can be more survivable. The only good thing that Gazgul's got going for him is you can't kill him in a single phase.
Well, yeah. So I was talking to Jason about this. He's actually really quite keen on doing the orcs because his demons are doing so terribly right now.
Yeah.
Gazgul, I mean, he's 12 wounds now, so you can target him and stuff like that. But most armies you play, unless you're playing something like Thousand Suns or Chaos, even with a lot of sorcerers and stuff, or Grey Knights, nothing's really going to happen that hard in a turn. Like most. They're going to hit him in the psychic phase, or they're going to hit him in the assault phase. Most armies ain't hitting him in every phase.
No.
So that's one thing. So that's 3 turns right there that he's going to survive. And then if you have a pain boy next to him as well, what's that? 5 turns you left? Really?
I think we worked out. It depends. It really does depend on who you're going up against.
If you go up against Tau, it's at least going to take him 3 turns. And if you've got Pain Boy, you'll live the entire game.
We'll see how. Well, look. I think until we get him on the tabletop, I think because we've got one of our patrons, John, sending one over from the States because, as you know, over here everything's locked down. We can't get our hands out of any. So we've kindly been sent one in the post. So as soon as he comes, I'm going to have him painted. So as soon as this horrible frigging lockdown's out of it, I'll get a game in. I want to get a fluffy game in first of all. So I'm just going to sling. He's going to go on the tabletop. I'm just going to sling stuff that you just won't see on the tabletop. So I'm going to stick the killer cans. I'm going to stick the death dreads in there. Death dreads are rubbish, but you're like, well, why not? The big boss man's here himself, and like, I really want to do the Grot Revolution.
That'd be so cool.
It'd be like,
that'd be really, really cool. That'd be really cool.
You'd have so many grots on the table for 2,000 points. It would be like, okay, that's cool. I can't really hurt you. I know that, but I've got so many frigging models. Come get me, bro. Come get me. I'm just going to sit on all these objectives, and I'll be like, come get me.
Points, like,
and you'll be like, you'll be sat on all the objectives, like, oh, what's that? I need to get up. We'll run over there. We'll get that, and you can just screen everything out. And I like that. The whole idea of the Grot Revolution. I need to make it real. I need to have the killer cans in there. I need to get some like the Grot tanks.
That'd be awesome, man.
It'd just be
really be awesome.
It's going to be expensive. I know that.
Yeah.
That for one. Unless I had a 3D.
4th edition grots, I think. Like cut out ones.
Yeah. I'm gonna have like little bits of cardboard stuck out and stuff. Yeah, or just make some like little arms and just stick them on like little things, so you got little arms sticking out. And yeah, there's a grot in that bin there. It's gonna be expensive. I think it's gonna be expensive to get all that, unless I can talk someone with a 3D printer to print off loads. But then you got to paint them. And I'm not one to just like spray it one colour, dip it in ink, and then just flick it off, and that's it. I like to go to a bit of detail with it.
Contrast, mate. Contrast.
Contrast rocks. Look, like people.
I wouldn't know.
Contrast does rock. There's so many cool things with contrast. Like, I love it as a paint. I use it for a lot of applications. Through the airbrush, banging. Like,
is it?
Yeah, mate. For an airbrush, you can get some real sharp colours out of it, and that's what it's all about. But look, I think we've come to the end of this, because like we've had a real good chat, Stefan, and I really do appreciate you joining us today on this cool little adventure we've had with your cheesy Grey Knights, and how they've got even more cheesier. So they've gone from like mild Stilton to like extremely strong, smelly, like rotten. If you are out and about and you see Stefan out on the battlefield, come say hello to him. Come over and ask him how well his Stilton's getting on. Or better still, just tap him on the back and we won't go there. You missed that on the last live stream we done last time. We said to the lads up north, we just said, look, if you see Dan, make sure you put your hat on his back, on the lower part of his back, and just say, we know where you like it. Or we said something else, but we're not going to repeat it on this show. And people are doing it, and Dan was like, I don't know what's going on, why people are saying that. What's been said? I don't know what's been said. Mate, I don't know what you're on about. Like, what have you been up to? And it was just such that one moment which just made me laugh the whole weekend, just seeing people walk up to him, just their hand on the lower part of the back, and go, we know we like it. Like, oh, I don't know what's going on. It's freaking me out. But it's cool. Anyway, listen, thank you very much for joining us. Everyone that's watching, if you haven't already, drop some comments down below. Tell us what you think. More importantly, tell us how you see Stefan's army. Do you prefer the way Stefan plays it, or do you prefer the way that Lawrence has played it, or the way Gaz played it with the Paladin bombs? Information. Tell us what you think. If you haven't already, please do hit the like. Please hit the like on the video, and don't forget to sub to the video. We're trying to hit that magical number of 10,000 subs. We're getting there slowly, but we're hopefully, with the help and support you guys are offering, I know we can get it, and it's not going to be too long before we get there. So thank you very much, and hopefully we'll catch you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.